Let me see if I can go in order. Start at the beginning, kind of work my way through them. First trick was the nollie heel front tail. I think I mentioned it maybe in this video or the last video, but the first trick I was going to try, I think, was tray flip crook, or maybe the tray flip back tail. I can't remember. I didn't plan on doing nollie heel front tail as the first trick, but like going into this, I didn't know how many of these 15 tricks I could do. Having the first trick go smoothly, I think made a huge deal. Because like, dude, the first video was all one session. I wish I spoke Spanish. When I went to Argentina, I like tried to learn some Spanish before going there, and like took some time to try to learn some when I got back. But it's just, man, it's so much, you know. But living in LA, I feel like this is the place where it makes sense to do it. Yeah, nollie heel front tail went smoothly, so that set the whole thing off on a good trajectory. Second trick was fakey flip switch crook. I'm glad that one worked out well. I could go into that one doing fakey crooks, kind of. Not really a trick I'm comfortable with. That one wasn't too bad. That's a good trick. Nollie flip tail, trick number 3. This one I was like pretty nervous about because I don't really do nollie flip into stuff. If I was to do a nollie flip into something, it'd probably be like back 50, back 5-0, maybe to nose or crook, possibly. So the tail was like pretty interesting. So yeah, that one was a pretty cool one. Glad it worked out the way it did. Trick 4, half cab heel crook. This is one that I like legit didn't think I could do. And it's one that I did 3 times because the first time my phone's on a tripod and like the box it's in shifted, or I don't know, something. The wind blew it and like turned it. Or what happened the second one? Maybe it stopped filming or something. I don't know. But the third time was like, it was fine. Or maybe the first time the phone died and the second time it was blown off course. I can't remember. But either way, I had to do it 3 times. But in that process, I was getting good at the half cab heel and nose, which paid off later, kind of. Trick 5 was switch heel back tail. I had done that trick before, just different versions. I had done it to back to switch. So this was like a switch heel back tail to reg. So that was a new trick for me. Second day, the tray flip back tail. Holy fucking crap. That one took maybe the longest. I'm pretty sure it took like probably 3 hours. And like, you got to keep in mind, 3 hours doesn't sound like a lot, but when it's like, when I do these, I don't stop. So like the tries you're seeing, I'm editing out a lot of the tries, but like when I try a trick, it's back to back. I don't stop. I don't take a break. I'll maybe take a drink of water for like 5 seconds, but like once I get in that mode, I just want to go. So it's, 3 hours straight. It's a lot, trust me, especially in this fucking heat. Holy shit. That's what's made this such a tough thing, is like all the ledges are like icy when you step on them, but don't slide for shit because the wax melts. Phone overheats, camera equipment dies, mic dies. Like it's like, it's been a struggle, dude. Number 6 was, or maybe that was number 6. What was number 5? Oh yeah, that was number 6. Number 7 was the big spin blunt rail trick. Easy on a rail in terms of like this selection of tricks. It's a tough trick, but like I'll do it in like 5 or 10 tries on a flat bar. So like that was a struggle to do it on a ledge. But again, I think it was just like the ledge's fault. I feel like blunt slide tricks have been tough in this challenge because you need the ledge to be very slippery for blunts to work. But what was happening, and especially on that last trick, is like you wax it, and so there's this coat of liquid, but when your wheel gets through and hits the ledge is still sticky. So it's just like, dude, fuck, it's so frustrating. So I don't know. If I do this again, which we should do this again, well, let me finish the list. I'll go into that. Number 8, nollie flip 180 switch 5. I think that was my favorite trick in this, but I didn't do it well. I kind of came off the end of the ledge, but like, dude, that's not a trick I've ever even seen, first of all, and like I would not have thought for a second I could do a trick like that. So I'm happy that I even did just that. Trust me, that's a fucked up one. Honestly, the second video, in my opinion, has like probably the hardest tricks. Second video, I think, is probably the coolest. I was able to still do those tricks, but I was able to do them on obstacles. Whereas like as the tricks seemed to get harder, I had to rely more on like just flat ledges, which it's a challenge too. Number 9, big flip nose grind. That one is like cool, but I don't know, something about it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It didn't feel good to land. And maybe it's just because I only grinded for just a second, but like, yeah, I don't know about that one. And yet, I feel like I want that in my bag of tricks because I think it would be sick down like a little hubba or something. So like, mixed feelings, but maybe I just didn't like the one I did. Number 10, kickflip tail heel flip. That's my favorite trick in this whole series, actually. Like, thinking about it now, like, that is a trick that I would love to do in a video part, but it feels like it's not good enough, which is insane because, like, I think it's a very nice looking trick and it's still technical. It's just like, I feel like people can just do that trick switch now. And, like, I shouldn't compare what I'm doing to other people, but I still want my tricks to be on par at least with, you know, some stuff. But, you know, there's guys like Shane out there who do like switch flip tail 270 heel. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me being like too critical of my skating, but I like the way that trick looks. That whole video took a fucking so much time. And the third video, these tricks all took forever. Every single one of them, I'm pretty sure. Honestly, except for the last one. The hardest trick in this, or like the ender, is like, probably took the least amount of tries. But yeah, for this, it was tray flip crook, which I actually tried in the second video. And maybe I'll put some of those attempts in here just to see. But I was doing like tray flip back 50. Like, I don't know. It's kind of funny. But yeah, tray flip crook. I had kind of figured it out towards the end, but like, dude, that I can't explain to you. That is the most frustrating trick I did in this whole thing, because it's like every single time you mess up, it ping pongs off your shins and just like sucks so bad. So yeah, fuck that trick. Nollie heel front crook. Mickey Papa did that down like an 8 rail. I'm stoked they did it on a ledge this tall. Just shows how good Mickey Papa is, if anything. Yeah, that just shows how good Mickey Papa is, if anything. Not to take away from my own skating, but like, dude, Mickey is just, guy's a fucking freak. I don't know, dude. Like, nollie heel for a crook down the rail. Kevin Romar actually did it too. It's funny how the dude's on blind, and I was on blind. It's a blind trick, I guess. So it's cursed. Don't do it. So then after that was heel flip back tail kick flip, which I had referenced in the second video of like a harder version. But honestly, I don't know if it's necessarily a harder version. Kickflip tail heel is easier to get into, but harder to get out of. Heel flip tail kickflip is harder to get into, but easier to get out of. So like, I guess it depends on which one you're better at, but I would say overall, heel flip back tail is harder because the board has to flip against the current, you know, so that makes it tough. But I also use the bump, so it's like, you know, I would say heel flip tail is harder just because it's a less common trick. Yeah, I was stoked in that too. I wish I would have gone further, but dude, honestly, like, the ledges here, and I've only done Spawn Ranch Parks, dude. They just don't slide good. The ledges, I don't know, man. It's like the material on top. And again, I shouldn't entirely blame them because the heat for sure made a big difference. This video in the winter, I would have been sliding around, dude. I promise. So yeah, heel flip, tail kick flip, stoked on that one. Half cab heel nose flip. I did it so bad. Like, honestly, it was dog shit, and I know it was. My thinking was, first of all, this isn't a video part. It's like, this is for my YouTube channel. Like, I don't know, whatever. My logic was like, I'm gonna just call it because I want to I want to save some energy to try the last trick. I was hoping that I could wrap up the whole video that day. So I did it pretty bad, but I just moved on. And then the final trick, the nollie heel back nose blunt. Oh my God, I spent so much time that day. At a certain point, I don't know how much time had passed, maybe 45 minutes, maybe an hour. And like, that's my bad for not looking at the phone, because every now and then I'll skate around the phone to see if it's still filming. It wasn't filming. So like, the video of me trying the nollie heel nose blunt is just gonna cut to the next day. And anytime it cuts to the next day like that, it's because the phone just fucking died. And I'm like, I'm not gonna wait to turn it back on. Be like, okay, phone died. I'll come back tomorrow. Like, I looked at it and I'm just like, fuck. I just called it. Went home. I ended up skating Manzanita last night. This was yesterday, by the way. Phone died. Went home. Skated Manzanita. Came back this morning. Still couldn't fucking do it. Dude, like, could not do the nollie heel back nose blunt. So much wax on my board. Legs were a little tired from skating last night. Probably shouldn't have. And then switching to the nollie heel front nose blunt. Like, I knew immediately I could do it. I could literally like scratch it with my knuckles and it wouldn't scratch me because it was just like so much wax. So I went to my car. I laid under my car for like 10 minutes just to fucking cool off. Like, I have AC, but I'm like, I want to lay down, you know? So I just laid under my car for like 10 minutes. Thought about going home and come back tomorrow, but I'm just, nah, fuck it. I want to wrap it up today. Grip my board and put it down in like 5 tries. My takeaway from all of this is I'm happy with the tricks that I did. This kind of just made me like look at skateboarding how I used to, which is, dude, I love to tinker with skateboarding. I love to like troubleshoot and try to learn new tricks, fuck around mode. This has kind of like forced me to do that. It's forced me to like learn 15 brand new tricks, and all of these tricks can easily branch into other tricks. Or I would maybe try it for like 4 or 5 tries, but like, it's not working, whatever. Try it longer. Like, dude, trust me, like, maybe something clicks. Even if it takes an hour or whatever, like, spend that time to just do it. Like, who cares? You're already at the skate park. Just, you know, see what you can do.